This is Andy Purewell for Boxing News. I'm joined by Joe Cordina over Zoom. Joe, when we arranged this interview, when we previously spoke, we said you'd be back in the UK. Now you're in warmer climates once again.
Yeah, I'm a little off the cuff one. Flew up to Portugal. So yeah, I'm over in Portugal until tomorrow, and then I go back to the dark and dingy UK.
Yeah, I don't envy that swap there from some warmer climates in Portugal coming back here. But yeah, before we come on to kind of what's next for yourself, Joe, we haven't had a chance to catch up since that night against Anthony Cacace. So just take me back to the fight, and now you've had a bit of time to reflect. What would you say about the fight?
Um, to be honest, I haven't really watched it back from start to finish. I've seen little highlights and whatever. Um, but yeah, like first round, second round, I'm comfortable, and going back after the second, I was thinking this is fucking easy. And that's generally what was going through my head. And Tony was just going, just keep doing what you're doing. And then same third round, similar, until the referee said break. And then bang, I get it with two flush shots. Um, and to be honest, I was surprised when I watched it back that he didn't put me asleep. Um, but I held it, but like I've never been hurt before, but it shook me to my boots. I'll be honest. And then every shot after that really was, every shot that was landing clean was buzzing me. Whether it was a jab or thing, it was sort of having an effect, and maybe that's down to weight or whatever. But it definitely had something to do with them two shots I got caught with. Um, but yeah, listen, I'm not gonna sit and cry about it and start making a big, massive fuss over socials and all that stuff. Listen, there's nothing I can do about it. The referee was a bit incompetent because didn't even give me my 5 minutes or not even a warning, um, and no points, nothing. So yeah, it was bit incompetent from the referee. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. It was his night. He won the world title, then hats off to him. And it's just I think with me being at Super Feather, it was a case of keep going until the wheels fall off. I probably should have moved up maybe 3 fights ago, but after Rakimov. But yeah, it fell off, and that's when we just got to move on now. So up to lightweight.
We'll come on to the weight in a minute, but just to stick with Kakachi fight, was
Yeah.
the game plan then up until that situation which arose in terms of those two punches on the break? Was it basically to follow what you'd produced in the first three rounds, or was there going to be a development? Was there something else which you was expecting to do as the fight progressed?
Nah, yeah, there was I believed in I just keep making him miss, keep hitting him, boxing, and just being smooth and how I am normally. And that was happening in the first two rounds. I can't remember him hitting me with anything. Um, Clean in the first two. Um, and yeah, he didn't like. Yeah, people say he punches hard. Yeah, he can dig, but no, it wasn't like a Rakimov where I was thinking, fuck, I can't be getting hit with that. And Rakimov did catch me flush, and yeah, it sort of like hit me off balance, but I wasn't hurt. But I've never, yeah, he didn't hit as hard as Rakimov, but yeah, it was listen, it was going to plan for the first couple of rounds, and then obviously I got caught with them shots, and then it is what it is. It happened, and to be honest, I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did. Because if it was the shoe was on the other foot, he would have been out of there either that round or the round after. Um, but yeah, this like I can't do nothing about it. It's done now, and it's water under the bridge for me, and it's gone. That ship has sailed to Super Feather.
You've said that ship sailed. I just want to touch on the weight front because on the more your official weigh-in, this is not the ceremonial one. There was obviously a
Yeah.
video which came out, and a lot of people were saying you didn't look kind of like comfortable getting down to the super featherweight limit. How difficult or how much of a struggle did you find making super featherweight for this fight?
Uh, well, put it this way. Yeah, it was the hardest, and bear in mind, like I think in that whole week I probably had about, I'd say about a kilogram worth of food, in the whole week before. So like, yeah, it was quite bad. I was drinking water, obviously. I had to keep hydrated and whatever. But yeah, it was just every time I'm checking my weight, it's like it's not budging. So that's, I think, down to me getting older. My metabolism ain't as quick as it used to be, and yeah, stuff like that. So I think lightweight was always my weight that I should have been at and stayed at. Yeah, I came down and pushed the boat out to get a world title, and I've done that twice. So I'm happy I did that, but I was never ever comfortable in making that weight. It was always a struggle for me, regardless of whether it was easier sometimes than others, but it was always a struggle. And I'd say the last two fights was, yeah, horrendous, and excuse me, they were bad, and there was, in both of the fights in Monte Carlo and in Saudi, I was like, fuck this boxing, I ain't making a weight. And it was only because of my cousin Lukey. He was like, gosh, listen, Joe, you only got to do this, and you'll be, and he sort of pushed me through it. You get me? But um, yeah, there was times where I was thinking, fuck this boxing, I can't be doing this anymore. But listen, it's done. When you had the fight and whatever, and you've made the weight, is all hunky dory. But now it's time to move up to light. The light. It's, that was just too much for me.
One final thing with it all, obviously, I remember the Monte Carlo fight, and you was mentioning back then that a move up was on the horizon. When kind of we see Saudi's involvement now, everybody's talking about the financial element. Do you feel like this fight with Cacace was simply just too good of an offer to turn down?
I'll be honest with you. I wanted to move up the last fight, but it was the. I remember the meeting with Eddie and Tony, Charlie, and we were saying, he was like, the difference in fighting with a title and without a title is a big difference. Do you get me? Um, and it depending on who you're fighting. If you're moving up and just fighting any Tom, Dick, and Harry with no title, then you're not going to get paid. If you're moving up and fighting a champion, you're going to get paid, but you have to work your way into that sort of way. And if I was to just move up straight away, yeah, I probably could have got, but everyone was tied up in fights here, there, and everywhere. So it was just like, do I go up, have like a warm up fight up at that weight, and then try and go for one of the big ones, or do I fight Cacace, then move up and then try and do that then? But yeah, it didn't work how I wanted it to. To be honest, I wanted to move up the last fight before Cacace, but yeah, it didn't really work out.
You have a chance to move up now, Joe. So looking at that lightweight scene, what's kind of the route back? What's this initial plan that you and your team are putting in place?
To be honest, like over the years, you see, like what's his name, George Composes, he's fighting world title after world title and losing after losing, and he's constantly getting world title shots. So yeah, like, yeah, I lost, but I'm a two-time world champion. And for me, it was a bit of like, it wasn't. I didn't think it was fair what happened, but it is what it is. I gotta move on. I can't be dwelling on that. But I think if there's a world title there and it can be made, why not? I can't get up for someone that's had fucking thing, but he's not. Some people don't put the fear into me, and it is not that I fear him as a person, because I don't fear anyone, but you always, another, you're fighting a champion, is you always got that nerves, that little bit of fear in losing. My fear of losing is massive, and yeah, and just that fear of losing and fighting another champion that's what I want to feel. That's what that will bring the best out of me. So yeah, I'd happy jump in with the champions, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson. What's the champions?
You got Tank and
Tank.
Berenchik as well.
and Berenchik, any of them, I would jump in with right now. Um, give me 10 to 12 weeks. I jump in with them right now. So it's well, I say 10, 12 weeks and jump in right now. But yeah, but give me the opportunity. Give me 10, 12 weeks, ask me, and I'll happily jump in with them. So listen, any of them free, then I'm happy to jump in. Um, Obviously, if the thing is that I have to go down the rigmarole of, then it has to be that way. But listen, I've seen fighters like I just mentioned, George Gamboa's world title after world title after world title. Yeah, he's been undisputed world champion, but I've been a two-time world champion. And listen, when it comes down to it, belts can't feed your kids and whatever, and pay the bills. So it, it's irrelevant in that sense, as it in him getting world title after world title shot. So yeah, um, I'd happily jump in with any of the champions right now.
Obviously, the one sticking point with that in mind, Joe, is God, none of them are with Matchroom. Obviously, Loma, Tang Shakur, and Berenchik. Now, I know
Yeah,
Shakur's been speaking with Eddie, so you never know where that may lead. And you two have kind of in the past had a few tweets back and forth and what have you. But uh, is it going to be difficult? How difficult of a proposition do you think it will be to maneuver yourself into a position to challenge for a world honours again, up at lightweight?
it's not difficult. It won't be difficult, I don't think. You just got to beat who's in front of you. Um, and if you don't, then it's hard. You get me? But listen, there's a load of good fighters out there in every single weight, and if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And if that means I've got to fight people along the way to get to there, then that's it. But I don't want to be going and fighting all these top fighters and not getting paid for it, because it seems like everyone's at the minute is getting paid. So I'm a two-time world champion. I want to be paid to jump in these fights as well. So yeah, as long as I'm getting paid, I'll fight anyway.
Joe, just to move on from yourself, just some fights I want to quickly get your thoughts on before we wrap this up. You got had the Canelo Berlanga media tour recently. I just want to get your thoughts on that fight.
Um, yeah, Canelo wiped the floor of him. Wiped the floor of him. Listen, he's a good fighter, but he's just not on that level of Canelo. Like I watched it. Funny enough, I watched it last night because I seen it was a bit of on Instagram and whatever. There was a bit of stuff going on, but yeah, I think Canelo wipes the floor of him.
You've also got a former campmate of yours from your GB days, Anthony Joshua, getting ready for another Wembley Stadium fight against Daniel Dubois. What do you make of this heavyweight matchup now?
Yes, it's a tough fight for him. Um, he's got to take him serious, but I think AJ can get the job done. But he definitely has to take him serious. He's no div like he can punch clearly. So um, and they've done plenty of rounds together. I've been there when they've had spars, so I know what happened behind the scenes and in these spars. So it's there's some big rounds, that was going on TV, whether it was with AJ, Joe Joyce, Fraser Clark. But yeah, obviously them two are fighting now, and they've done plenty of rounds together, so it should be a good fight.
Any truth in that rumor about Daniel and AJ and Daniel potentially putting AJ on the floor?
Who said that?
That was what was kind of rumored for a while now, for the last few years, and Dubois kind of played along with it, if you will, over the years.
Well, that's for them, innit? To say it's not for me, but sparring, and fighting is fighting. So it's two completely different things. But it's irrelevant what happened in Sparks. Whether he did put him over or he didn't. It was um it was a long time ago.
On that undercard, you see your last opponent, Anthony Cacace, face Josh Warrington. What do you make of that fight for your old title?
Uh, that's a good fight. I think Warrington always brings it, so it should make for and he don't and Kakashi don't shy away. So yeah, it should make for a good fight. But I think Kakashi might have a bit too much of a boxing brain for him. But Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So, yeah, I think Cacace will win.
We've got a slight delay to it, but Catterall Prograis, how are you expecting to see it play out?
I think Catterall wins. Yeah, at the minute he just does everything he needs to do, doesn't he? Like he's a lot of people complain about he's not exciting, he's this, he's that, but he's doing everything he needs to do to win, and that's all you can ask for from a fighter. And he's not taking punishment along the way. So yeah, at the end of the day, he's winning fights, he's getting paid, and he's winning titles. So yeah, he's I think he beats Prograis quite comfortably. Like Prograis when he fought Josh Taylor, you would have to lean towards Prograis, but I've seen a decline with Prograis over the years and for the last couple of years. So yeah, I think um, Catterall wins.
Right, Joe, I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your little break there. I'm sure I'll see you back
Cheers,
on the UK show soon. So thank you for speaking to me.
Andy. Thank you, brother.